What things do men do that are that they don't realize are Story 1. There was a study done in Japan to see what school-aged ladies saw as attractive in their male counterparts, and running fast was like number 1 or 2 for elementary and middle schoolers. Story 2. I find men that show their caring, gentle, and soft side very like being gentle with siblings, friends, and animals. They make me feel safe. Story 3. One time, my wife and I were trying to move this big, giant recliner-type chair up our stairs, and we were having trouble, and I said, "It's okay, sweetheart, you take a break." And I just picked the thing up and hauled it upstairs myself. She said, "Wow." Story 4. Getting super excited talking about a nerdy interest they care about. A lot of guys suppress caring about things. Edit. I totally resonate with all the people sharing about their experiences, trying to open up and feeling rejected. The nerdy topic isn't the attractive thing in and of itself, it is the openness and vulnerability. Like you are so comfortable you can be yourself with your niche things you love. Vulnerability is when you're most open to attack, and it fully makes sense why people have learned to not put themselves out there like that. But I still love it when it happens. Story 5. So there was a colleague I had met him at a party randomly before I started at the workplace, but was never attracted to him. Well, after I joined, I didn't know a lot of stuff and got bad anxiety every day while working. He started talking to me, like we both would be working on our own thing, and he would ask me the most random questions like, if you were an animal, what would you be? Or my favorite color and such stuff that people never ask anymore. And that helped because I would have to stop overthinking, obsessing, and actually think about what he asked. Always calmed me down. And then, if we were walking, he would insist I walk on the inner corner rather than on the side of the road. Chivalry. I kid you not, he went from a no one to the only one I was interested in. Also, he never made me feel dumb if I didn't know about something, so I could always ask him anything without feeling anxious. Still the man I've ever met. Story 6. My heart does a little flip each time my significant other ever so slightly puts his hand on my back when we're walking to guide me, or if he's trying to squeeze by behind me. I don't know why that gets me fired up. LOL. Story 7. Being a good dad. Story 8. Treating me like an actual person, having good conversation that isn't just overture, and then letting me know they're interested in me. When a random child interacts with them and they don't act like it's an annoying bother. When they can have an argument without even a subtle threat of violence. When they're industrious at something. When I can tell their entire self-esteem isn't based off getting me into bed. Story 9. I love when a guy just handles something that otherwise could have been pesky or difficult, even if it's minor. Essentially, taking swift charge without being asked. I'm super independent, and even from my personal perspective, where I enjoy doing things myself, I think it reads like A, an act of service and thoughtfulness, B, a demonstration of capability, and also C, enthusiasm. That, oh, it's taken care of line is just hot. Story 10. Well, according to my girlfriend, when I go full pack mule mode and just grab every bag in one trip, whenever I work on cars, doesn't matter if it's electrical or mechanical, when I work on computers, either building a new one or doing repairs, whenever I nerd out about anything I love, yes, that includes her. Whenever I lift her up Princess Carrie style and bring her over to the bed when she's way too tired, whenever I can simply shrug off breaking an arm or basically any damage done to my body. Sure, she gets mad as well that I basically ignore the wounds, so she paths me up. Whenever I'm at the gym. Long story boring. I think I found a gem of a woman. Story 11. Apparently having a sense of direction, lol. I've dated a few girls who commented on it, saying their exes would be lost forever without GPS. Like, I drove there one time. I don't understand how hard it is to find your way back from a place you drove to an hour or two ago, lol. Story 12. One time I needed a light bulb changed and my boyfriend reached up, unscrewed it, and put in a new bulb and I about wet my pants. He could just, reach it with no stretching, and he just solved my problem in 3 seconds. Also, his shirt lifted up a bit when he did it. Swoon. Story 13. One time my husband and I were in a new European city and hit up a fancy cigar bar. He was wearing a nice suit jacket and looked great. Then when he went to use the cigar cutter, I had no idea I needed that visual in my life. It was just the essence of man to me. Friends, before we continue our video, I want to remind you of the importance of subscribing to our channel. We are also waiting for your comments and likes. Thank you. Let's move on to the video. Story 14. It's so weird to me, but when I work on and fire up my riding mower and then scoot around with my yard work hat backwards and have ear protection on, my wife watches me through the window and is very happy to see me take a shower lol. I swear it's the smell of grass and gasoline and sweat. It's like pheromone crack for some people. Story 15. Being exhausted but pushing forward anyway. A guy on the verge of passing out but keeps going until everything is done, or even jumping out of bed to do something they almost forgot about without hesitation. Like a totally dead battery still somehow finding power in itself. The willpower to force your body to work until it hurts and is ready to give up. Hot yo. 3 16. Genuinely laughing, stretching, falling asleep in recliners with small animals or babies curled on their chests, grooming their facial hair, excitedly gesticulating as they tumble down special interest topic rabbit holes, coming home smelling like sweat and earth, silently offering their strength to open a jar or help you stand up. Story 17. Looking for something. Love that focused energy. Brain on high drive, thinking about what they are looking for, where they had it last, dismayed that the thing they seek has eluded them. The little laugh they do when they catch you watching them look for something. Story 18. Male here. This is something that a very toxic ex-fling, whatever that was, said she was turned on by. After the first date, she invited me to meet her at a board game-themed bar after work. When I arrive, I see she's already seated with 6 other people. There are 2 couples on one side and 2 guys on her side to her left. I immediately come to the conclusion that she's just playing mind games, but my mama didn't raise no. I walk up to her right, sit down, say, "Hey, gorgeous." Grab her thigh gently and introduce myself to the group as her date that. The guy to her immediate left gets up and leaves, and the night continues pretty smoothly. On the drive back to my place, she tells me that the guy to her left was someone that had been trying to date her and gave me the story on how everyone else ended up there. Long story short, she admitted that she was just using me for sex and felt like seeing what would happen if she invited 2 guys over. She had expected me to leave when I saw the other guy and the big group, and said that she was turned on when I didn't back down, and in her words, confidently asserted myself as the main character. So, I suppose just appearing confident? FYI, I was sweating bullets during that walk-up, but thanks to a very toxic family upbringing, I had an idea of what she was playing at. I was also pretty and convinced it would be wild and worth it. Plus, I refuse to let people have the power to assert any control of my life by making me vulnerable, uncomfortable. Like, okay, you want to get weird? Let's get weird. This is a good note to end on. Please write your stories in the comments. I'll be happy to add them to future videos. Also, you can rate our other videos. We would be very grateful. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.